The work that I'd like to present today is a collaborative effort, and it's work that's been going on for almost 20 years now, centered at the University of Oregon, but also has involved my colleagues in other institutions, uh, at least I think three of whom are here this morning. Nick Camerlinghi, associate professor from Dartmouth, Giovanni Svevo, an independent scholar, and Alan Seen, director of Studium Urbis in Rome. Eric Steiner, who's the creative director at the Center for Visual and Textual and Visual Analysis, can't join us today. He's from Stanford and has been one of the major players in our work. This project has benefited tremendously from grants from various institutions, some of which are listed here. The project that I'd like to show you today is really a reinvention, a reimagining of a project that was designed almost 20 years ago, the Nolli map website from 2005. It featured the famous Nolli map by Giambattista Nolli from 1748, and was sadly discontinued because Flash, the platform that we used for the original design, that was designed especially by Eric Steiner, as many of you know, just well evaporated, was terminated. So that set us on inspired us to actually make good with the map that we had, the interactive map that we had designed, and improve it and bring it up to date, which we have done. This is a website which gives you an overview of some of the other projects that we've been involved in, but I would like to focus on the interactive Nolli map, but just wanted to call your attention to some of the other projects that our team has been involved with the same team members, and over 24 students who have helped us over the years. In particular, you might find it interesting to look at the former Urbis Rome project that we're doing now and is in process. But I would like to move ahead to the current Nolli Map website 2.0, which you see here. And I'd like to basically go through some of the features, keeping in mind that this project has had more than one life. So one of the first things to keep in mind about the Nolli map itself is that it's an amazing accomplishment and a cartographic feat by Giambattista Nolli from 1748, capturing the city at the zenith of its development, really. So it's a propitious time for Nolli to have recorded the map. The plate divisions in the map are shown here. So the map actually is divided into 12 separate plates, and one of our challenges was to sew these plates together perfectly, which I think we were able to accomplish with the help of one of our graduate students. The other thing that is, I think, important to keep in mind is just how detailed the Nolli map is. So in this this focused area around the Spanish Steps, one can see the steps of the Spanish Steps, the fountain at the base, the church Saint Trinita at the top. You might also notice that curious little 5-dot area here at the top of the steps, which is a street drain. So the amount of detail that Nolli shows is really quite amazing. I'll come back to the photographic imagery that is associated with each of the 1,320 points.
Jim, if I may insert a word.
Sure.
If you look at the Spanish steps, can you go back to the Spanish steps? Nolli records the fact that they are asymmetrical, and it is one of the very few maps that shows them that way. Thank you, Jim.
So that's a further illustration of that kind of detail. So what I'd like to do is go through some of the layers. So this presentation has a lot to do with the simple functionality of the website, and the the philosophical underpinnings for this are something I won't particularly stress, other than to say that the structure of Rome as a city, I think, has a great deal to teach us today about urban design as well. So in this map, in this version, which shows the buildings of the city, we've digitized all of those buildings by hand. You can see in this case, the blue is the modern city, and the orange is the city at the time of Nolli, that is the 18th century. You can particularly notice perhaps how much of the 18th century city has been destroyed, especially in the area around the Victor Emmanuel Monument, in the area around the Campidoglio. So our map website also has a satellite image, which you see here is one of the layers which are described on the left-hand side, and we can zoom in on that. I like to show the fountain in in the Piazza Navona and show how it actually measures up with the Nolli map, which you see here. So there's a correspondence between the two, which is really quite remarkable. Our map, the Nolli map, has been geo-rectified and brought into real geographic space. So it's been rubber sheeted to be in line with contemporary, not only satellite imaging, but also images derived from strict cartographic analysis. There are other features to the map. So for example, we have a landscape map that shows various villas, gardens, orti in the city, and they in turn are, it's possible to highlight them one by one or call them up and get information about each one of them. And this is an indication of the rione in the city, the districts of the city, which are also highlightable. Also, all of this is zoomable. So I'm just giving you a snapshot of the overall. On our website, these little features over here can reset the map to to a standard size, or you can zoom in more if you wish. So one of the key features.
The rioni are the 14 medieval regions redrawn at the time of Nolli. In fact, the Nolli map shows the new borders of those regions with the dotted lines on the map. Right, Jim?
So you can see, as Alan pointed out, you can see the dotted lines, which are the borders for that particular rione. So I'd like to move ahead to the what I think is one of the major contributions of our website, which is the identification of all 1,320 sites. And this was especially labor-intensive project that was begun by Alan Seen some 20 years ago and has been continued with extensive metadata enhancements by Nick Camerlinghi and his team in Dartmouth. So to take one example, we can look at San Stefano Rotondo, which you see here, and there's information about this structure as a 5th century, late 5th century structure. We could also, there are also Wikipedia entries and Churches of Rome entries that are linked here as well, which I won't show you right now. The image of San Stefano Rotondo is available through this link, which actually takes us to another project that we're involved in with Lanciani, which allows you to see that in some detail. So all 1,320 sites have that feature, and is something to I think one of the major, as I said, one of the major contributions of the website. Let me see if I can do another. Let's maybe, since we've been talking about the Pantheon, let's look at the Pantheon. Again, one of our images from the Lanciani collection is shown here is actually the space in front of the Pantheon, which you see here. So one of the some of the other features that I'd like to talk about briefly are the 8-day itineraries that Eric Steiner designed for an exhibition featuring Giuseppe Vazzi, who is a contemporary of Nolli. And in that presentation, Eric has shown us the 8 days, and you can actually walk through the city, walk down through the city, as it were, so that that feature is really keying into another project that we did. I wanted to also call your attention to one of the features of the map, and that is the ability to look at it, the map, three-dimensionally. So we can look at buildings in the city three-dimensionally. There also is the ability to look at the site in various angles and so on. One of the key ways of looking at it, of course, is from the entry. I'm sorry, having a little bit of trouble getting that through from the Piazza del Popolo. So another, I'll end with this last piece. There are a series of curated essays that also accompany the website. This one by Catherine Rinne shows as Catherine puts it, a trip down the Tiber. Catherine Rinne's superb website, Waters of Rome, is actually going to be using aspects of our map to enhance her website. So you can see these various places and features moving down the river, as it were. I should mention that we are, and I'm not sure I'm the person to explain this, but there are various ways in which you can, visit our site and download uh, layers and GeoJSON files and so on. And you can also use the Nolli map as a WMS service. So there are, our attempt is to make this material as generally available as we possibly can to enhance, the studies and forward the study of Rome in the most general terms.
I think Jim hinted at the other website that he and I worked on together, the Vasi website, which links the numerous Vasi plates to the Nolli map itself. Yes, in fact, here you see an example. Going back and forth between the Vasi plate and Jim very carefully figured out where Vasi stood. Can you show us an example, Jim?
So
where Vasi stood, to get a particular view. This is the view shed, as we call it, that Jim figured out standing in Piazza. Where were we, Jim? There.
In the Quirinal,
right, in the Quirinal Piazza. So going back and forth between the Nolli, the Vasi, and the various prints, in this case, the Piranesi, you get a very good understanding of the city.
Right. And I might add that Alan's commentary, I think, was a very important part of that, which is available here for your reference, and that this is downloadable information as well. I fear that the time is probably up. There's much more on the site that I'm afraid I didn't really cover in the depth that I should have. But I hope this gives you at least a taste of the work that we've accomplished as a team. I want to emphasize that this has been a collaborative effort. I'm an architect. Eric Steiner is a geographer. Alan Seen is a historian, as is Nick Camerlengi, and Giovanni Svevo is very much involved in computer science. And his work in QGIS, ArcGIS, and sophisticated mapping technologies has allowed this to happen. I'm sorry we don't have time to share a little bit the work that we've done on the former Urbis cartographic map of Rome by Lanciani in 1901, but this is a project that we've been working on for several years now, and I think might be of interest to those who are interested in the archaeology of Rome, where this obviously is dealing with 18th century Rome. So I don't know if we have time for questions or if that's part of the format or not, but I think I'll end it here. Thank you very much for your time, all of you.